yeah! Anybody want some stew? Come on down. Hello there. Hello, everybody. I'm Matty Matheson, and today on God Save the Food, we're making stew. What makes a good stew? Where does the stew come from? Stew is pretty much going to the spa. Stewed spa beef. Spa beef. I love going to the spa. I like getting my toes waxed. And there isn't a better person than Iona to tell me the history of stew. So let's listen to Iona and let's see what's going on with stew.
Hi Matty, I'm going to be telling you all about stew today. The practice of taking meat and cooking it in a liquid has existed for 7,000 to 8,000 years, meaning that stew is one of the oldest dishes that we have. So we're going to begin with an onion. They actually gained popularity in medieval Britain for being a great way to cure ailments. So if you had a burn, or if you got bitten by a dog, or if you were bald, you might be recommended to use some onion and apply it on top.
Medicine's a joke, you know, just walk around with an onion.
Next up is the humble carrot. Carrots are one of those things that have existed since the ancient Egyptian period, although they used to be used as an aphrodisiac.
Never met a carrot that I didn't like.
Now, the final ingredient I'm going to tell you about is dumplings.
Dumplings?
Now, these are what I think make this stew into a British stew. So, Matty, in my opinion, those are the most important elements of any British stew, and I would love to see you try it.
The inspiration cometh from the sky, over the hills, into the valley of love. And what I want to do is take lamb neck, ox tongue, pork belly, and oxtail. We're gonna stew them lightly and gently with red wine and beer. Then we're gonna add carrots and swede and turnips and mushrooms. I'm not making dumplings. I'm gonna make biscuits, because I grew up eating biscuits. We're going back to medieval times. Grab your swords, get some mead, ride a pig into town. We're going to battle. A crier always holds his bell right here, ready to cry at any moment, ready to bell. We got oxtail, 3 pieces, oxtail. Then we got a lamb neck, pork belly. And we got our ox tongue here. All these striations of fat. This is like Wagyu. Tongue is my all-time favorite stewing meat. If you can't get oxtail, tongue, friggin' pork belly, buy whatever meat you can and just do the exact same thing, okay? It ain't pretty, but it's beautiful. What's on the inside? Hear ye, hear ye! There's a bunch of marauders coming. They're gonna come and cut our legs off. I'm gonna cut this into pieces, okay? Cut these into big chunks. I'm gonna season this up. I'm just gonna do salt right now. Excuse me. Get a hot pan. I'm gonna put enough oil on the bottom that completely covers the bottom of the pot. We're browning it on medium-high heat. It was literally called the Dark Ages. Sounds like not the greatest time. Grandpa gets a little old, a little slow. Maybe you just give him a little push over, bumps his head on a rock, drag him into the room, cut the shins off. You don't have to eat much, just the shins, and you boil it up. Dark Ages. This episode is fire, brought to you by swords. Now we're cooking. This is what we're looking for. This is the nice golden brown. We're gonna add our lamb neck now. Did you know that animals were just smaller medieval times ago? Like that's what, 10,000 years ago? Cows were the size of cats. Cats were the size of ants, and whales were the size of goldfish. Are you serious? Medieval times, what were you doing? It's all facts. Did you know the greatest currency of all time are eels? People were buying land with eels. You can take your crypto and shove it up your butt. 20,000 eels were given to purchase 100 acres. It's called medieval times for a reason, people. They were buying land with eels. We added our pork belly. We cooked and browned our lamb necks. Now we're browning our oxtails. We're gonna sear our ox tongue last. Did you get that on camera, my little jump? Watch out for the skin side, it gets splattery. Actually, you know what? What did Iona say? You kept on saying medicinal. Onions, where's an onion? We got an onion here. She said onions were good for inflammation. Inflammation, let's do it. Onion, inflammation. Oh, that hurts. That just hurts. We're gonna go to medieval times. I'm gonna punch a night out. New fact, did you know that in medieval times, animals literally could be tried the same as people? So if your pig happened to stomp somebody to death, that pig would be hung in the town square. Hear ye, pig over here at the Lannisters killed somebody. Next Wednesday, we're gonna hang the pig. It was found guilty of murder. If anyone has a twilled gift of linens, it's Beatrice's birthday. So the thing that I wanna do is have a base flavoring of our stew. Take 2 onions, put them into our blender. 1 carrot, 1 stalk of celery. I'm not peeling the carrot even. The carrot skin's not gonna kill you, it's medieval times. You're worried about the carrot skin? We're cooked, okay? There's plagues coming. Truth be told, I was a town crier, then I was a defense attorney for animals. You got an emu running wild, chop off a baby's hand, put that emu in an Iron Maiden. See you later, emu. We're gonna add some neutral canola oil. Now, let's blend. I wanna blend this to like a straight paste. Glip, glap, glue, get in there, look at that. I'm gonna pour off some of this oil. What we're left here with just a little bit of fond, not too much fond. So we got our onion, carrot, celery mixture. Pour that into our pot. Now we're gonna add our 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Crack a cold one. I wanna use a dark beer, so shout out to beer. Little red wine, half a bottle. Honey wine, mead, honey wine. Throw in your honey wines. A quart of beef stock. Just drop our pork belly in there. Lamb neck, oxtail, ox tongue. Final stage, we gotta add our herbs. We got some parsley lying around. We got some thyme, some bay leaf. So we're gonna cook this in the oven at 176 Celsius for about 1.5 to 2 hours. My biggest client, obviously, was the big black bear that ate the whole family. And he's like, I didn't do it. Covered in blood. I was just hanging out, eating some rabbits outside, and then the dad came and he shot off a slingshot, and then I ripped his arms off. He said the mom came out and started crying, so the bear snapped her head off. Then 3 kids ran out. They got swords and maces, and he was like, okay, all y'all. Big old swoop, and he took out all 3, and it was self-defense. And I was just like, yes, that's right, black bear. So I was just like, well, if no one's seen you do it, then you probably didn't do it. So we are back. My hand is still burnt. Thank you so much. So let's check out the stew. I'm gonna pull the stew out. Oh, yeah. About 2 hours in, pork belly soft. Oof. This is good. We're almost there. We're gonna put in our pearl onions, our swede, turnips, all the nice carrots, mushrooms. Lid, back on, back in the hot oven. We got about an hour, hour and a half. Don't touch it. See you in 1 hour. Biscuits, my biscuits, my biscuits, my biscuits. Your biscuits? Get ready for biscuits. Cheese grater, ice cold butter. We're gonna grate it like cheese. You wanna do this relatively fast. You don't want your butter to heat up. We're gonna put this into the freezer until we need it. 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. We're gonna add a pinch of salt. So you just mix your dry ingredients. If we were in medieval times, do you realize I would have been dead? I would have already died from that burn. You were writing a love letter, and then just as you seal it with a wax kiss, you nick your lip. All of a sudden you bleed to death. Your lover never knows. They read the letter, they come home. They open up the door, honey, honey. There is the dead person on the floor, bled out. They're like, I just traveled all this way and you died from a paper cut? Oh! Tough times back then. People were dying from paper cuts and animals were half the size. Once again, you're just putting the butter in just for a minute because I don't want it to get room temperature. I'm gonna put half in and kind of just crumb it. So this is what we're looking for here. Now we got some sour cream. We're gonna add half a cup at a time, okay? You ever see like an old medieval movie? And they just got like, this is what their shoes look like. Their shoes look like this with like leather wrappings around their calves. They did not have Louboutins back then. Louboutins. Dust your flour nicely everywhere. You wanna bring your dough together. I'm gonna cut it into 4. We got some heavy cream here. We're gonna just cover our biscuits. We have some nice Maldon salt here. Put a little bit of salt on top. We're going up to 218 degrees Celsius. Let's go. 20 minutes. See you soon. You know, medieval times, just they didn't have, you know, all the great things that make us grow, like soda pop and sugar. Hear ye, the biscuits are done! Hot tamales! That's a nice biscuit. The cream of the crop meal was the swan. The swan feast was the greatest of all feasts. And you would have this beautiful bird with the feathers still on, incense blazing in its beak. You'd be eating a shin in a pitcher. Hear ye, all in the square, city square. I want to make an announcement. Everyone come and enjoy the stew. Our stew is done. But one thing we have to do is pull out the Kraken over here. I'm about to peel an ox tongue. Check it out. Just peel the hot skin off. We don't need that. And now what I'm gonna do is kind of portion it into pieces. We just put the tongue back into the stew. You know what I need with my biscuit is a bowl of stew. Oxtail for you. You tell me, when your kingdoms are fighting and you got all your buddies are coming home with half an arm, or you got your ear cut off, or oh my goodness, you got a cannonball shot through your shin? You need your shin. You gotta walk. So guess what? You eat some stew. Oh, buttery, crispy, golden on the outside. Are you seeing what's happening here? Oh, it's like the ultimate pot roast. What? Little jub of the lamb neck? Wow. I don't know if they were making stew like this in the medieval times with the little baby animals running around, their little mud shoes. Let me tell you something. If you make this at home, you're gonna be really stoked. You take something tough and you give it a little bit of love and some time and patience. Is about patience. Today's episode is about patience and just allowing things to gently cook. I'm Matty Matheson. God save the food. Hear ye, hear ye. Unity stew, suck on my bones. Slurp it up.